Welcome, everyone. It's great to see all of you here in the room. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks to everyone who is tuning in online. My name is Waisanen, and I have the fortunate pleasure of bringing all of our great Copilot innovation to market. And I'm thrilled to be joined with my product leader, Ron Pessner, whose team builds all of these great experiences that you're going to see today. Okay, so hopefully early this morning you were tuning in to the keynote. There's been a lot of innovation sessions, and you saw us introduce some really exciting innovation that's making Copilot more powerful and really reshaping the way work gets done. We're going to spend most of the time today to really deep dive on all of the great innovation so you can understand the value. You're going to see a lot of things in action, and hopefully this will help you go and drive adoption across your organization. While there's many AI solutions out there that are generalist AI assistants, this is where Microsoft 365 Copilot stands out. It's uniquely AI built for work, right? And so what that means is it's powered by the best models, it's integrated in the Microsoft 365 apps that you and your teams use every day at work, and it's all built, of course, on a trusted Microsoft 365 environment that's secure and compliant. And what makes Microsoft 365 Copilot the AI built for work is something that we call Work IQ. Think of this as the intelligence layer that enables Copilot agents to truly know you, your job, and your company. Well, what does that all really mean? Well, let's start with data. Copilot knows you at work, right? It's looking at the rich knowledge in your emails, your files, the way you work in meetings, conversation and chats. Next is memory, right? Copilot knows how you work, from your style to your preferences, different habits, and even understands organizational context and workflows. And finally, there's inference, right? This is where Copilot brings it all together. It's offering up predictive insights, proactive connections, and even offering up intelligent suggestions right in the flow of work. So all of this comes to life in the Microsoft 365 Copilot app. And we brought together chat, search, create, agents, and notebook into a single app to deliver AI that's designed for real work and real business outcomes, right? It's not just everything in the kitchen sink. We've been very intentional. I'm so excited to show you what we've been up to and see it all in action. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Ron.
Great. Thanks so much, Amber. And good afternoon, everyone. Really excited to share with you the latest on the M365 Copilot app. We're going to give you a demo today, and we're going to demo primarily from the web, but I'm also going to demo from our Android phone as well. And the Copilot app is available on Windows, web, Mac, iOS, and Android. And you can pin it. If you're an admin, you can pin it for your organization, or an individual, you can pin the app to the taskbar as well of Windows, as well as the Windows Companion app, so you can get fast, easy access to the M365 Copilot app. So I'm going to start first. Let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to start first by giving you just a really quick update on the new application experience. What we've done is we've simplified the layout of the app, and we've simplified the app experience, putting the commonly used Copilot capabilities right at your fingertips. You can see here that you start with chat. So chat is the soul of the application. We also have search, which is search for your entire enterprise, M365 search. And we've created a construct to group and gather all of the artifacts that you create with Copilot, so it's easy to find them and recall them later. Second, we've got a section for agents. You can see this is where you can see agents that have been penned by you or are available through your organization. And then we also have a section for notebooks, and these are most frequently used notebooks, as well as notebooks that you might have penned. And then, of course, we also have infinite chat history. And then at the very bottom, you can see here that I have my identity, as well as we've added text to help you understand your license states. You can see here that I've got Copilot premium features enabled. So with that, also you can see our access to the latest apps. You can see all your apps in M365, and they're right here available to you. You can pen any additional ones. Like if I'm a heavy OneNote user, I can go ahead and pen that, and you can see it's here available for me.
Ron, I love that Penning's made it so accessible, right? But gosh, in all those apps, we know a lot of our customers are creating a lot of content every day. And I'm going to be honest, finding a document is really hard. Who's ever had that challenge, right? Like, what's that last document I was working on? Have we made this better?
Oh, yes. So with Copilot Search, and we can see the Copilot Search here, there are two ways that you can recall frequently used documents. So the first is down at the bottom, show all my content, defaults to your recent files. And you can see that you've got recents down here. We've also started to annotate this with Copilot actions. You can see these off to the side. I can see what I can do to ask Copilot questions about any of these files. And then here at the top, we're also making recommended documents based on what you're doing and all that knowledge that you had around Work IQ. We've also added in a concept called a hover card, which shows you it gives you an AI summary of that file, so you can just take a quick look before you open it. And additionally, if you're looking for a file, you can also use natural language to find it. So I'm going to go ahead and, since Amber and I are going to, we're going to be both a product manager and a marketing manager at 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗃. Our job is to put together a concept for a smart athletic jersey. And as part of that, we're going to go to a customer presentation. But I, of course, can't really remember the exact title of the document, so I can just use natural language and type it in right here in the prompt box. And when I do this, Copilot Search will go through and it understands the relationships that I have at work, the context, the things I've been working on, and then it can return documents that are relevant for me. You can, of course, filter by person or type. You can also take a look at a summary provided by Copilot, but we've also included something new called an AI view. And this is an AI-driven overview of this document. It shows you some information about the document, also who's created it, when it was last modified, and then where else it might be referenced in M365. These are all common recall mechanisms. And of course, I can ask additional questions of Copilot and open the document when I'm ready.
Oh, I'm so glad you found that deck. I've been looking for that since this morning, and love that you can find it easily just with natural language.
All right, so we'll move on to chat, and I'll show you the current chat. So you can see in chat, we've added tools to the chat menu. You can see that we've got designer, pages, and the new Word, Excel, and PowerPoint agents available. And then also sources. So a common piece of feedback we got was, hey, I want to know what Copilot's reasoning over. And so you can toggle the sources that you want to be able to take a look at. And because Amber and I were in that customer meeting, I, of course, missed the 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗃 but it's super easy for me to catch up on that. You can see the prompt boxes down here below with suggested prompts. These are informed by Work IQ, so they understand what might be relevant to me. And Copilot knows that the ship room happened, and I might want to recap. And so I can just go ahead and click this prompt, and I don't need to see who all has the action items, but I'm going to go ahead and just say, hey, I want to understand the key takeaways and not necessarily who the action items were assigned to. And so what Copilot's going to do now is go and start gathering information related to this, looking at all the meeting materials, and then coming back and structuring a recap for me. This is the same material I could also access if I went into Teams and decided to get a meeting recap there. All right, so it's taking a look. All right, so I get a summary, and it gives me the key takeaways from the meeting, which is super helpful to understand what was covered. A couple decisions that were made, so it helps me catch up really quickly. And then I can see the action items that were related and the artifacts. And my favorite new feature is at the bottom. We're very pleased to announce we're just taking out to worldwide these AI meeting highlights. And this gives me a 2.5-minute summary of an hour-long meeting with just the highlight reel. And I'll play it for you now so you can see what this is like.
The session began with Teresa introducing the focus on the smart athletic jersey, followed by Valerie outlining the core challenge. Athletes and coaches are overwhelmed by raw health data, but lack actionable stamina insights.
All right, so I'll go ahead and pause that. But this is a super great feature. We've been enjoying it inside Microsoft, and we've gotten phenomenally great feedback from all of our TAP customers.
I think that's probably one of my favorite features. I use Recap all the time in Teams meetings today, and I just love that we're enhancing it. We're bringing the video recaps to Copilot Chat and really extending those capabilities.
All right.
Now, Ron, I know we're building this great smart athletic jersey, okay? But we need the marketing. The product's got to be great, but the marketing has to be even better, honestly. I need a really compelling visual. So is there something that Copilot can help here?
Yeah, so we can create a great visual inside of Copilot, maybe mock up our concept. So next I want to show you the latest in image creation capabilities in Copilot. And these are a great example of us integrating our image creation and editing capabilities right inside of chat so that you can build the perfect image in chat and you don't have to switch context. Let me give you, take a look at that. So we're going to go ahead and ask, maybe we just a concept image of this smart t-shirt, smart fitness shirt that monitors posture, stamina, and monitors for temperature. And to save us time while this is building, you can see that I have created a view of this. I think this is a pretty good image for us to work with. And all I have to do is click on it, and then I get to open it side by side, and I get all of the rich editing capabilities. These commonly used editing capabilities are here right in the context of chat. And you can see that Copilot is offering a suggestion. It's saying, hey, because there's so much text on this, you know, one of the things that's really hard is editing the text in an image. So I can just select extract, and it's going to extract the text from the image, and then I can just go in and edit it if I want. Well, this is a live demo, but you could imagine that I could go in and make that change right there. But it gives you a really good idea of how we're bringing these editing capabilities right in line. All right, we all know that work doesn't stop when you leave your desk, and with voice on 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗀𝗃 Copilot, you can stay productive anywhere. It could be hands-free on your mobile device or multitasking while you're at your PC. So what I wanted to show you was before we go a little bit deeper on, now we've got our concept image, but before we go any deeper in building out a product brief, I want to just double check with my colleagues, 𝗬𝗲𝗃, and in my management chain to see if they've got any additional feedback on our concept. And I also want to find time for us to work on this tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and ask Copilot about this. All right, so hey, Copilot, what does my day look like tomorrow?
Tomorrow, you've got a keynote meeting at 9 a.m., followed by a Contoso customer meeting at 11 a.m. Then in the afternoon, there's another customer meeting at 1 p.m.
Where's a good time? Like tomorrow in the afternoon, I want to find time for Amber. I want to find time for Amber and me to spend time working on this smart athletic jersey concept in the afternoon. Is there a good time for us to do that?
Copilot's thinking really hard here, trying to find that time. Our schedules are busy, so.
So in the afternoon, it looks like both you and Amber are free after 1 p.m.
Okay.
That customer meeting you have at 1 p.m. doesn't have.
All right. Can you summarize some of my recent messages from 𝗬𝗲𝗃?
So there might be some flexibility there.
Okay.
If that meeting doesn't happen, you've got.
All right. All right, I'd like to understand if there have been any recent feedback on the smart athletic jersey concept from my manager or my skip level manager or from 𝗬𝗲𝗃.
𝗬𝗲𝗃 recently provided some detailed feedback on the smart athletic jersey concept. She highlighted how athletes appreciate that the jersey feels like a regular one and that coaches value.
All right, so that gives us a pretty good overview. That's great. Oh. Yeah, and it looks like I've got a little bit of reception problems here in the basement, but that's okay. But that gives you an idea of how easy it is to interact with Copilot even when you're away from your desk.
Yes, I was literally using it on the go as we were coming over here and getting caught up, so.
All right, so as we start creating this smart product this product brief for the Smart Athletic Jersey, it might be helpful to understand what does Copilot know about me. And specifically, I want to make sure that Copilot understands my work preferences. So why don't we go ahead and find out what Copilot knows about how I like to work.
It's going to give us all the tea here. Copilot, spill the tea on Ron and how he likes to work.
Okay, here we go. You can see I prefer concise and exec-ready outputs. Okay, trade-offs and next steps. Yes, I've used some of these phrases before.
Oh yeah, excited to see progress here as a true product leader.
Okay, guilty. You can see how structure and formatting. Okay, that's interesting. All right, well, so I think Copilot's going to help us put together a pretty good product brief now that we know that. Okay, so now that we know, we got our image, we've got our feedback from folks, we've had lots of conversations about this. Let's get to work and go from building chat conversations with Copilot into building durable artifacts. And we've had multiple conversations back and forth around this. And what I want to do now is I want to ask Copilot to start helping to gather up all that information so that we can start to create this product brief. All right, so to do this, I'm just going to ask Copilot to very quickly scan through all of my recent emails, my chats, my meetings, anything related to the Smart Athletic Jersey, and then create a page that summarizes these key themes and organize them into these common buckets. These are ones that we normally use for customer needs, engineering challenges, design ideas, and next steps. And you can see that now Copilot is searching through all the information that it knows about me, and then it's applying my preferences for how I like to write and be able to put together a product brief, and then we'll create those on a page for us.
This is Work IQ in action.
All right. This will take a minute, but we'll give it just a minute. All right. So then now it's now created a page for us. And this page, you can see it start building out the sections of the page. It's got customer needs, engineering challenges like I asked for, design ideas, and next steps. And the design ideas section looks a little thin. It says it's still synthesizing the results. We'll give Copilot just a minute, see if there's anything else it wants to add. This is a full page, so this page I can share with Amber, so why don't I go ahead and do that right now. I can just copy it as a component, and then I can paste this into Teams or Outlook. I'm going to go ahead and put it in Outlook so Amber can collaborate with me. And we'll add it right here, and it pastes in as a live component so that as I send it, then Amber can go in and start making edits and join me here. You can see that we got a pretty good summary here from Copilot of all the pieces, and it gave this to me. I'm going to go ahead and ask it to expand on the design ideas section. Let's see what it comes back with. Because I know that we can do a little bit better than that. Okay, great. We've added some additional design ideas in, which are great. And no, it's asking me if I want more visuals. I don't think so, but what I wanted to call your attention to was that I can just go in here in any of these places and make edits. So, you know, any of these, I can go ahead and add anything that I might want. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that and override. It's great. Amber's coming in.
I'm adding a next step. Marking.
All right, and you can see here that Copilot's also offering some suggestions. They can style the page. Copilot can also offer some suggestions for voice and tone that we might want. And then when we're finished, do you feel pretty good about this? I think we could probably, you know, we want to prepare. We not only want a product brief, but we also want to have a PowerPoint.
Yeah, we really need to get that deck together so the team can get aligned. But oh, Ron, please don't tell me I have to build slides from scratch.
You don't. Fortunately, with the help of Copilot, you can export the information from here into a PowerPoint presentation. You can see that it's now ready to go. And what will happen is Copilot will then start creating inside of PowerPoint this PowerPoint presentation for us. And it's going to remember the information on that page and use that as grounding for the PowerPoint. And you can see right here, I'm going to kick off this process. And when I do this, it's going to extract the various pieces that we've outlined and collaborated on and gathered up from across the enterprise. And you can say, all right, well, here are all the pieces that I want, the sections of this PowerPoint. So that's great. I can also apply a different style that I might want. And in this case, I'm going to just pick my organizational template because it's been preloaded. And then looking at the different, I can pick the way that I want the images to look. And I personally really like photorealistic, so I'm going to use that.
Good with that.
And then we'll start generating the slides. And this can take a minute, so I will show you what the output looks like. This is a full PowerPoint presentation, all native PowerPoint artifacts. You can go in, you can make edits to any part of this. You can also see the photorealistic images that Copilot picked for me as part of this. And it's, a full PowerPoint. We can just take it from here.
Great.
All right, so with that, next up to go with our presentation and our product brief, I know we're going to want to build an interactive application to go with this smart athletic jersey. And to do that, I can show you how we can do that in Copilot. Normally, to build a prototype, I would have to write a spec, I would have to engage engineering, I would have to find a designer, we would have to put this together and work together for a couple of weeks potentially to create a design that we would really like. But with the help of Copilot, this is an incredibly easy process to do.
Are you about to teach me how to code?
Well, I'm going to let Copilot do some coding for you. All right, so you can see I've got a pretty involved prompt here. I'll describe what I've included. I was very detailed and descriptive about what to include. I wanted to make sure that we had a good interactive UI, that we used vibrant colors so that there was good contrast. And then I also wanted to make sure that we started to include a place for live view for trends and recovery insights, and including some sample data for athletes. And this is all now on a page. It's generating the application for us in React. And while this is happening, this can also take a minute. So I'll show you what the finished product looks like. You can see that here at the top, this is my prompt that I used before. And so then Copilot comes back and says, great, I built a high-energy premium sports application. You can take a look. It's got live view, trends, recovery insights. And then this is what I can do to try it now. I can try switching between athletes. I can try out different things like heart rate, speed, and stamina. And then it can also suggest next steps. So if I wanted to wire this up to real data, I could easily do that. So let's take a look at the preview of what this application looks like. All right, so that looks pretty nice. Like it's a really good overview, and I can just switch between athletes here. I can also switch views. And you can see we've got simulated data coming in. It's really cool. And because this is a page, I can, of course, share this, and we can collaborate on it. I could share this with our developers, and they could continue to make edits. I could also vibe code this and change the colors. And most importantly, when we have something that we really like, if we want to graduate this and build a full application, all we have to do is create an app with the app builder agent. And we get a full application that we could deploy in the enterprise.
Awesome.
All right, so that's
great, Ron. Listen, you've been showing us some really powerful ways in Copilot for us to bring this smart jersey to market. You just still mentioned agents. Everybody's talking about agents these days. It's the latest craze. So what agents can help us here? Okay, so agents are really great for specialized work. And so we've got our product brief, we've got our presentation, and we've got our interactive application mock-up of what that might look like. And so going into this meeting, I want to create a survey so that we can gather some feedback on our concepts. But sometimes creating a survey can be really tedious, and that's where the surveys agent comes in. So what I'm going to do is just ask it a really simple question. Say, hey, I want to get a 5-question survey to gather feedback on this smart athletic jersey for comfort, style, and usability. And what it will do is it will create this survey for me. Give me a minute to do this. And you can see it's up. My survey is ready. That's fantastic. That was pretty easy. Yeah. All right, so now I can just open it. And again, it opens just right here. I don't have to leave chat. I can just continue to revise the survey right here. I can add questions down at the bottom if I want. Let's see, I'll put in a text box. Let people do that. I've also got some common controls similar to what we have with image generation that are included here. I can switch and take a look at what it looks like on mobile.
scan through, take a look at the computer view, and of course, at any point in time, if I want to get deeper, richer functionality from Forms, I can just open this in Forms because this is Forms actually inside of chat.
I love the side-by-side, like right in the flow of work.
All right, so next up, Researcher. So you probably saw that we've announced that you can have access to Claude Sonnet 4.5 on the latest models inside of Researcher to do deep research. And I think we want to do some deep research on this concept so that we can look at the market opportunity for the smart athletic jersey along with technical feasibility and take a look at that. So what I'm going to do is just kick off a research project with Researcher. So it's just going to give us a full report. And actually, I'm going to pause this just for a second. And we're going to go back because I want to use Claude in doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and try Claude.
I love that we're giving people model choice. And Researcher is admittedly one of my favorite agents. I use it daily.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And it's super good for aggregating up information from a lot of different sources. So what we're doing here is we're going to look across both work and web data. And you can see this is a little bit like working with a junior researcher on your team because it comes back and says, hey, is this what you're looking for? And if so, just say go ahead. So I think this looks pretty good. I'm going to say go ahead. And it will kick off this research project. And it's going to aggregate up all of this information for us. And sometimes you've got information scattered all over the place. Research is an amazing way to bring it together so you can take a look. And I, of course, am going to want to look at this in depth. But this can also take a minute. And you can see here it includes your chain of thought. So it tells you exactly what it's doing, all the steps it's stepping through, which is really handy. So I'll show you what the finished product looks like. You can see that this is a view of this final research report. And if I scan down here, like this thing goes on for quite some time. But there's some really rich information here, like who all the players are, what's going on. I'm just going to keep going down. It's also interspersed these neat infographics, right, that are really helpful. Those are all code generated. Keep going. It's like get down here to the bottom. Like, okay, so I'm down here at the bottom, and I've got all these other actions I can take off of this. But what I wanted to show you first was sources. And the sources here are great. Like, I can just go through and scan any of these and see, like, I'm going to pick this website, and I can just open it here right side by side to the report, take a look at the information here, validate that it is what in fact I wanted, and then, go back and use Researcher. But what I also did is sometimes you want, this is great for a lot of detail, but sometimes you want something graphical that's, maybe a summary view that you could share with someone. Well, you can go back and use the code canvas to do that, and I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see here, I asked it to create an HTML infographic of this to be able to provide a summary view. And this is what that summary view looks like. So you can see this is really nice, single page view. I can take a look at the underlying code if I want. I can also just copy this and send it to you in email, or we can reuse it, or I can print it out as a PDF. Super easy to do. And again, it's a full page, so I can share it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put this add to notebook. So I can, of course, add any of these assets into a notebook. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in our market research notebook. And that's a great segue into Copilot notebooks. So first off, I wanted to show you the new Copilot notebooks. Their information you've scattered all over the place, and it can be often hard to kind of pull together information into one single place. Copilot notebooks are really designed for this, and they're designed to help you group that information so you can ground conversations with Copilot and make it easier to get deeper insights. And this is the new Copilot Notebooks homepage. You can see here down at the bottom, we've got all of your notebooks. And then here at the top is something new. This is a Copilot suggesting notebook. So again, leveraging WorkIQ, looking out across everything you're working on, and then saying, hey, I think there's some topics that might be interesting to group together with some related reference materials. Let me get you started with that and being able to suggest it. And then I also wanted to say that many of you have asked for the ability to share a notebook, and I'm very pleased to announce that we have now enabled for worldwide notebook sharing. And you can be really excited about this. Very appreciate all the feedback that we got from customers. You can see here that I've shared this notebook. I'm going to go into the 𝗦𝗲𝘀𝗀𝗃 notebook, and you can see I've shared this one with Amber and William. And when you share a notebook, all of the references and all of the material created in the notebook are shared, but the chats that you have with Copilot in the notebook remain private. All right, so I'll give you just a quick overview of the notebook and how the new notebook design. So you can see here on the left, I've got a really easy switcher to be able to switch between my notebooks. Sharing we talked about. We also have the ability to create a new page in the notebook or other assets like an audio overview or a study guide. These are super handy, like you can just have an audio overview that you can then play and you can listen to your notebook. It's like a podcast.
Lovers.
Yes. You've got all the outputs from the notebook here, but then you also have here below all of the references. So these are all the files that are referenced in this notebook. And above the references, you can see another suggested references section. So as you're working, Copilot is thinking through and saying, hey, there's some other references that might be really valuable in this notebook. Let me make that possible to put in really easily just by adding one click. So with a single click, I can go ahead and add that reference into the notebook, and then it sends me another reference. I can also add any file that I've been working on, or I can add folders from a SharePoint site. I can drag and drop files from my desktop into the notebook, all really handy. And then here on the main page, you can see the overview page this is the overview page. It's got a summary and key insights for that notebook, and this is refreshed every time I go into the notebook. And then over here on the right, you can also see that Copilot is suggesting, based on what work I'm doing, suggesting prompts, and then also offering up, you can just ask any sort of question that you have. So let's see here. Yeah, we can ask for common themes, and it will just go ahead and pull out what the themes are in this specific notebook. The thing that's really cool about the conversation with Copilot here inside a notebook is that all the references are always up to date. And so you're going to get the latest information from your conversation with Copilot in the notebook. And this is a particularly handy use case for anything like a recurring meeting or anywhere where you want to get the latest information. Just make sure all the related meeting assets show up inside the notebook, and then you can go in and ask any question related to that. You can see that these are a lot of the themes that we're working on inside this notebook. So super helpful.
This is great. I love that there's a whole new way now for us to collaborate. Okay, Ron, I know that you created the image earlier, which is great, but with the marketing team, we've got to create many more customer-facing assets, and I really want to make sure our brand is included. That's really important.
Okay.
How can Copilot help us here?
All right, so the last area that we're going to cover is what you can do with Create. So Create is a place in the M365 Copilot app where you can create all kinds of assets with AI. And you can see here, you can create an image, and we've got these suggested images and prompts below. If you see one that you like, you can create a video. We'll come back to that in just a minute. You can also create an infographic, and then a whole bunch of other assets related to this. Since you talked about the image from before, we created that image in chat. We can also create a poster for this, so maybe mocking up what our virtual launch might look like for the Smart Athletic t-shirt. So let's take a look.
I think we're almost ready. We've got everything. App. Now we just need the great marketing assets.
Okay, so let's go ahead and add this. I downloaded it and just added in. And then, you want to use the brand color. Okay, so you can see I've got the brand kit here applied, just like what we had for creating the PowerPoint. And with this, I can go ahead and kick off the creation process. And because this can take a minute as well, I'm going to go ahead and show you what the final result would look like. You can see I get a full poster related to this. I can go in and transform it with AI. I can make any sort of updates, changes to the brand. I can edit it in a whole bunch of different ways. I can edit the text that's here. I can remove things, super interesting. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can extract images here. And I've got a full range of set of things that I could do to edit and make this exactly the asset that you would want, and it's very easy and intuitive to do. All right, we'll give this a minute. Looks like it's not my day for text extraction, but nonetheless, it's a live demo. All right, so the last thing we want to share with you is video creation capabilities in the new M365 Copilot app powered by Sora 2. We announced today that Sora 2 is available for the enterprise. It's enterprise ready and available in Frontier. So this is a real dream for marketers.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can applaud for this. It's okay. It's good stuff.
The video creation capabilities are really breakthrough for everyone, but particularly for marketers. Do you want to share with us the video that you created earlier?
Yeah, I literally went in. I was very, descriptive with my prompt of what you're about to see here, right? I wanted to make sure icon and logo was included. I was athlete. I wanted the hydration to pop up. And literally, just with this click of a prompt and just a couple of minutes, like now we have a really exciting teaser video we've created.
All right, so this is the teaser video that is created from that prompt. Yeah, good job including our little smart application too.
Good?
All right,
right?
That's great. All right.
Okay, just think, like traditionally, right, I would have had to reach out and get some additional support, some help. It would have taken weeks just to like storyboard it, bring it to life. And I mean, that was within minutes. So one thing I do want to call out, you hopefully noticed in that video, there was an AI generated watermark, right? And this is really helping make sure from an enterprise ready capabilities, right? All the tools are there so we can create content responsibly.
That's a great call out. Okay, we showed you a lot, and I realize that there's a lot of news here at Ignite. But hopefully you could see that this is a very practically applied set of scenarios for a product manager and a marketing manager. And what we wanted to do is just share with you all the prompts that we used. So they're here for you to take, modify, give a try yourself, but they're all available at that QR code. And then...
Take a second to scan it. Oh.
Yep, okay. Did everyone get that okay? All right, really quick. Okay, I see some people. All right. Okay, and then just a really quick recap. I realize we shared a lot. We talked about the search capabilities with Copilot Search. We talked about all the new capabilities in chat and how we're bringing the best of our content creation capabilities inline in chat. How to leverage agents for specialized tasks, notebooks for grouping and grounding all of your content and for your work with Copilot. And last but definitely not least, all the latest capabilities in Create for not just images and posters and infographics, but also now video with Sora 2. All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Ron. Wow, that was a jam-packed demo, right? Can we give a little applause for Ron?
Thanks.
Okay. Hopefully you all were very inspired. You saw the power of AI built for work coming together in Microsoft 365 Copilot. And of course, underpinning all of that is a single enterprise-grade control layer for Copilot and agents. Right? We know how important it is for you to ensure that everything is secure, is compliant, it's under control, and that's what the Copilot control system delivers. Now, we've covered how Copilot, keeps your data secure and compliant, but let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, licensing. It's a common question that we get. So I just want to start with, Copilot chat. This is how everyone gets a secure AI chat experience. It's grounded on the web, right? And then you can use pay-as-you-go with metered access to get access to custom agents. This does include GPT-5 standard access. What that means is, there's kind of going to be a bit of capacity, right? So while people be using it, there may be a time where, hey, because you've just got the Copilot chat, you might want to then be able to, you might need to come back later to use it potentially just because, again, there may be some capacity limits in place there. It also has the ability to reason over files in Microsoft 365 apps. And Copilot chat, it's good if you need kind of quick answers, you need to do some brainstorming, maybe you need some web-grounded responses. But this is where the power of Microsoft 365 Copilot, that license, right, this $30 offer that we have, this is where Copilot becomes really powerful for every user. This is where the full integration happens, right? It brings AI into your core Microsoft 365 apps, again, that you and your teams are using every day. Think of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, so much more. You've got advanced editing summaries, work IQ, powered experiences that you heard me talk about earlier. And this is where you get priority access to GPT-5, right? So you don't hit those capacity limits. And of course, it also unlocks agents, right? These are ones that maybe we have pre-built, but you also get access to building those as well. And of course, you've got advanced management and analytics as a part of that. Okay. well, hopefully today, again, that you are now feeling energized and inspired as you go along your AI journey. We know that everyone's kind of on a different place in their journey, so we've wanted to create some really helpful resources, specifically what we call the Copilot Success Kit, which includes kind of collection of different assets and content to really help you accelerate your organization's onboarding and adoption. And so there's several tools in here. I encourage you to scan that QR code. You think if it's got an implementation summary guide, username limit guide, you name it, and it's got things for different roles, in the organization. For many of you here today that I imagine are IT leaders or even business decision makers in the organization, even thinking about your end users, all of this, will, again, like I said, hopefully help everyone be able to broadly adopt Copilot and start to use it today. So I'll give a second. Hopefully people have scanned the QR code. All right. With that, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for embracing this silent disco. Hopefully you all heard us very clearly with your headsets. You've seen a lot of incredible stuff from the keynote this morning with Judson and the team. There's been a lot of great innovation sessions, and 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 and the team led on Copilot. But we have so much more happening this week. So you can see there's a lot of sessions happening even later today, more throughout the week. And then please come to the booth. We want to talk to you. We want to answer all of your questions. We want to learn from you. And really, again, thank you so much for the time today. And we will talk to you more here at Ignite. Enjoy Ignite.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining us at Microsoft Ignite's Silent Stages. Please leave your headset at your seat as you exit. Thank you for your cooperation.